Hey guys, Mike Cameron here with another video. So 2 weeks ago, we started talking about how to overcome emotions. We talked about how to lower the intensity by channeling the emotions through different activities, which led up to last week's topic, where we were talking about how to give ourselves the validation we need and accessing that through acceptance. That's acceptance of the situation, the people involved, what they've added to the situation, our own thoughts about the situation, our emotions about it, our resistances to the process, this whole process, what we fantasize the situation to be, what we didn't want it to be, and anything else that we were experiencing in those moments. And by doing so, it helped us to calm ourselves down, but also get more connected with reality as itself. And it has also helped us to get our subconscious on board with this next step. And why that's important is because the emotions that you're experiencing, they're generated in the subconscious mind. So we want to work with the subconscious mind, so the subconscious mind will work with us. So now we're ready to go underneath the emotion at the cognitive level, which is what this week's lesson is all about. What happens outside of ourselves is not what determines our experience in life. Rather, it has to do with our perception of it, or the thoughts that we have towards the situation itself that determines our experience. Which is why you can see 5 people going through the same experience, having 5 different responses, and 5 different emotions even. Thoughts actually create the emotions that we feel. And we can experience this right now. So I need you guys to close your eyes. And I want you to pick somebody that you feel really good about. It can be somebody that's in your life right now, that you want in your life right now. It could even be a fictional character. And I want you to think about how this person is. Think about what they look like. The kinds of things that they do. Think about how their voice sounds, how they smell, how they would interact with you if you were talking to them. Think about their best qualities and think about what you like the most about them. Now, how are you feeling right now in this moment? You're probably feeling pretty good. You guys can open your eyes now. So, nothing's changed outside of ourselves. The only thing that's changed is what we were focusing on with our thoughts. And those thoughts, thinking things that make us feel good, and so we would feel good. Coupled with emotions, thoughts actually look like they reflect reality, especially if we're thinking certain thoughts habitually. So the thought will come up and the emotion will validate if it's true or not based off of the strength of the emotion. And so the more we buy into a certain thought to be true, the more we strengthen the emotion around that thought and the more it seems true. And then it can become our truth, our reality, and what we call normal. However, thoughts are not based off of reality. And thus, neither are emotions. They are simply based on what we have come to believe is true, based off of our interpretation of our own life experiences from birth up until this point. Our interpretations aren't always valid, and that can lead us to creating meanings behind our experiences, our circumstances, other people, and ourselves that don't fit, are untrue and invalid. And yet we can go through life believing very strongly in this truth because our emotions validate it. Just last week I was talking about how I had a falling out with a friend. And that he had told me he has to be okay with the possibility of our friendship ending. And in that moment I started having thoughts of nobody cares about me. I'm all alone again. You know, if people got to know me, they wouldn't like me and they would leave. That this always happens, that I'm worthless, that I'm this, that I'm that. And in those moments that they came up, I fully believed them to be true. Why? because these were the exact same thoughts that I've been habitually thinking in my teenage years. And they came up because of how I interpreted my life experiences up to that point and what I said about myself based off of them. And so I created a really strong emotional charge. So yeah, it was real for me. It felt like the truth, despite all of the evidence against the thought. I couldn't see the evidence. I couldn't see that these thoughts were untrue because I was so blinded by the emotions that I just couldn't see it until I started to feel my emotions, which calmed me down and opened me up to accept the situation as it was. That I was thinking and feeling the way that I was about the situation, how I wanted to hold on to the friendship still, but how the friendship was not a healthy friendship for me. And then I was actually able to look at the thoughts and see how I was BSing myself with them by seeing how they were not true. And so I started to believe the evidence. And I started to believe what is actually true, at least in this situation. Without the understanding of thoughts, we are left being controlled by them, by believing them to be true. And a lot of us have been doing this for a very long time, not really understanding what we're doing to ourselves, how it affects us, how it affects other people, and needless to say, not knowing how to overcome it and find a better way of being. There's a psychological modality out there called cognitive behavioral therapy, and it sees these thoughts as distorted thoughts. Distorted thoughts are lies that we tell ourselves, like with our meanings and stories, and we may not even realize that they're lies. They're untrue, they don't fit reality, and they can cause the following. They can cause us to take things personally that has absolutely nothing to do with us. They can decrease positive emotions, especially around accomplishments. They can make us feel empty when we're in a positive situation. They can create and intensify unhelpful forms of anger. They can make temporary things seem permanent and lasting things seem temporary. They can take away our courage and confidence. They can make big things seem smaller and smaller things seem bigger. They can demotivate us. They can take away our hope. They can make us create standards and expectations for ourselves that are very difficult, if not impossible, to fulfill, leading us to feeling worthless and useless and to fail. They can create addictions and keep us stuck in them. They can zoom in on all the negative stuff and filter out all of the good stuff. They can lead to so many different actions and behaviors that actually have very negative impacts on our life. They can make us hold on to relationships that are not good for us. They can make us take on ways of being that we don't want to be and keep us stuck in them. And they can lead to depression and many other things. When we can investigate these thoughts, we can find the lies in them, then we can break free of the thoughts and the emotions that ensue. And we can open up to truth and reality. And reality is a lot easier to deal with and is a lot less stressful. Think of it in the context of if you found yourself alone at home for whatever reason one night. And you thought, I'm alone, nobody cares about me. Or you thought, I'm alone right now, but I spend time with other people at other times. And nobody's contacting me right now, but people contact me at other times. Which is easier to deal with? Which is easier to be okay with and to believe? So the skill that I'm referring to from cognitive behavioral therapy is called thought replacement. And it's best done on paper. This is a skill that I've been using when I've been really upset, really anxious, really angry, when I'm beating up on myself. I used it just before performing, doing a hip-hop dance routine with the stars of Step Up Revolution, which is very, very intimidating. But it calmed me enough to actually go up and perform. And I've used it in many other areas of life, and it works wonders, actually. It makes navigating through life a lot easier. So I want to share that with you guys. I'm not going to get into how to do it in this video because we've already taken a long time, but I will get into it in the next video, and I'll give you a general understanding so you guys can start doing it as well. Anyways, so that's my video. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe for more videos. And again, please share this with people if you feel that it can really help. Help me, help them. Alright, thanks. See you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already seen last week's, click on the video below and watch it now. Thanks for watching.